The Gift of Gold. Once upon a time, in the enchanting village of Eldergrove, a gentle sun cast its warm glow upon the cobblestone paths and blooming wildflowers. At the center of this picturesque village lived a girl named Amara, who, from the moment she breathed her first breath, had become the embodiment of beauty and grace, a living symbol of the village itself. However, her greatest gift was not merely her cheerful demeanor or bright smile, it was her hair, a cascade of golden strands that flowed like liquid sunlight down her back. Elda, Amara's grandmother, was the keeper of village lore and a weaver of stories. With her silver hair tied in a loose bun and eyes crinkling with wisdom, she often gathered the villagers around the ancient oak tree, the heart of Eldergrove, to tell tales that echoed through time. Amara would sit at her feet, enthralled by the way the sunlight wove through the tree's branches, highlighting the stories of their ancestors. "Amara, you are blessed," Elda said one afternoon as she brushed the girl's hair, letting it gleam in the sunlight. "Your hair is a gift from the gods, a link to the earth and spirit. It has the power to heal and to nurture, just as a mother cares for her children." Amara listened intently, her heart swelling with pride at her grandmother's words. She felt the weight of her gift, knowing that with it came expectations she was yet to fully understand. Every time she untied her hair, flowers bloomed, and laughter rang through the air. Yet as time passed, Amara noticed whispers brewing among the villagers. Compliments turned to envy, and admiration shifted into doubt, darkening the very warmth that surrounded her. One sunny morning, Amara decided to visit the river that flowed just beyond the village. She longed for the tranquility that the gentle waters always provided. As she reached the riverbank, she took a deep breath, releasing her hair from the confines of the simple braid she usually wore. The golden waves cascaded around her like a halo, glimmering in the light, and a sweet melody played on the wind. It was then that Tomos, her childhood friend, appeared. Tall and strong, with tousled dark hair and earthy brown eyes, he had been a constant companion during her adventures. He paused, captivated by the sight of her hair, the enchantment of the moment bringing a soft smile to his face. "Every time you let it down, it's like the sun has decided to dance with the river," Tomos said playfully. Amara laughed, feeling the warmth of his friendship wrap around her. "Do you think it's too much? Sometimes I wonder if they'd prefer I keep it hidden." "They'd be foolish to wish that," he replied, his eyes sincere. "Your gift brings joy, Amara. Never doubt its value." But despite his encouragement, unease prickled at the back of Amara's mind. The village was changing. She sensed that jealousy was brewing, intertwined with the admiration she once received so freely. As she returned to the village with Tomos, shadows of doubt began to cloud her heart. The next few days passed in a flurry of emotions. Children continued to play around Amara, often calling for her help in gathering wildflowers, while others exchanged wary glances, murmuring amongst themselves. The more her hair shimmered, the more lips curled in judgment. There was one particular girl, Helena, whose envy sparkled in her eyes as she watched Amara from afar, growing ever bolder in her disdain. One evening, the villagers gathered for the Harvest Festival, an event that celebrated the bounties of the earth. The air was filled with laughter, music, and the tantalizing aroma of roasted chestnuts. Amara, her heart fluttering, eagerly sought the crowd's approval, but even the festive spirit could not quell the whispers she overheard. "I hear she thinks she's so special now," Helena sneered to a group of girls nearby. "Her hair will bring us nothing but trouble." Amara's heart sank as she turned away, seeking solace beneath the ancient oak tree that stood sentinel over the village. Elda had often told her that the tree could absorb her sorrows if she whispered her fears to it. As she nestled against its gnarled trunk, she closed her eyes and allowed a tear to escape. "Why must my gift bring pain?" she murmured, feeling the strength of the tree healing her heart slowly. In her heart, Amara yearned to understand the duality of her nature, the light that attracted some, and the shadow that pushed others away. She wished more than anything to turn her gift into a source of unity rather than division. With a resolve deep within her, Amara knew she had to discover her path, one that would help not only herself but also the villagers who had come to regard her with mixed feelings. As the night deepened and the stars twinkled overhead like scattered diamonds, she vowed to embrace her gift and share its true purpose with the village, even if the road ahead was fraught with challenges. Whispers in the wind. With the morning sun painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Amara woke with a newfound resolve. She felt a sense of purpose glow within her, like the warm rays of dawn spilling into her room. Today would be different. Today, she would show the villagers that her gift was meant to unite, not divide. Dressing quickly, Amara let her hair flow freely, the golden strands cascading around her shoulders like a warm embrace. As she stepped outside, she could hear the children's laughter wafting through the village, their joy a refreshing balm against her lingering fears. With a determined heart, she made her way toward the village square, where families gathered to exchange tales and treasures. Tomas was already there, his laugh ringing out like a bell, drawing a circle of delighted children around him. They hovered close, their eyes wide with admiration as he conjured tales of brave knights and fierce dragons. His warm presence filled her with comfort, and Amara approached, ready to embrace the spirit of camaraderie that filled the air. "Amara," one child squealed, pointing excitedly at her hair. "Is it true that it glows in the sunlight?" Tomas grinned as he reached for Amara's hand, drawing her into the circle. "Of course. Beauty is a tale crafted by the heart," he replied, winking at her, encouraging her to join in. But while the children beamed with delight, Amara noticed Helena lingering near the edge of the gathering. The girl's face was hardened, arms crossed defiantly over her chest. Amara's heart sank at the sight, sensing the shadows of disdain lurking just beneath the surface. Clenching her fists, she took a breath, subtly reminding herself of her commitment to embrace her gift. "Mama told me you're special," another child piped up. "Can you teach us magic?" Amara smiled, her heart swelling at the thought of sharing something beautiful with the children. "Magic is not just in our hands or hair. It lives in our hearts," she said gently. "And when we share kindness, we create our own magic." As the children gurgled and clapped, Amara turned to look at Helena one last time, hoping for a glimmer of acceptance. But the girl had turned away, anger etched across her brow. Disappointment twisted in Amara's stomach, but she steeled herself, reminding herself that growth often sprouted from struggle. Days passed, the summer sun rising higher in the sky, and Amara continued to spend her mornings at the riverbank, allowing her hair to flow freely among the golden blooms. With each new day, she focused on cultivating connections with both the children and her own courage, determined to show the village that joy could bloom through understanding. As she played and shared her tales, however, the whispers began. At first, they were soft, like rustling leaves in the breeze. But soon enough, the winds carried with them rumors about Amara's hair, its powers, its allure, and the threat it posed to the village's harmony. One afternoon, while enjoying a picnic with Tomas near the river, a group of girls approached, led by Helena. They stood silently, faces hardened like stone, mirroring a low tide of confrontation. "Are you not afraid?" Helena hissed, stepping forward. "Everyone talks, Amara. They say your hair is a gift of the gods, but who says you're worthy of such power?" Amara's heart raced, but she tried to keep her voice steady. "It was given to me as a blessing, nothing more. I only wish to share its beauty." Helena shrugged. "Beauty can deceive. You don't belong to the gods. You're just another girl, like us." Tomas stepped protectively beside Amara, sensing the tension rising. "You should know, we're all just people, Helena. Amara's heart is what makes her special, not her hair." Helena's lips pressed into a thin line, and for a moment, it looked like she might lash out. Instead, she turned, calling over her shoulder, "We'll see how long your magic lasts, Amara. The gods might take it away just as quickly as they gave it." The group retreated, leaving a silence that echoed in Amara's chest. "What if she's right?" Amara whispered, her voice trembling with uncertainty. "What if my gift is a burden rather than a blessing?" Tomas placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Don't let fear cloud your shine. You've brought so much laughter to their lives. Just because a few are envious doesn't mean your gift is flawed. It's how we share it that matters." Amara looked at him, grateful for his steadfast support. "Yes, it's about sharing," she agreed, a flicker of hope igniting in her heart. "But how do we change their hearts?" "By showing them what truly lies behind it," Tomas suggested. "Invite them to play. Show them the joy in your gift instead of hiding it away." That night, as the stars twinkled like a curtain of diamonds overhead, Amara made a decision. She would host an event, a gathering where everyone could share stories, laughter, and most importantly, experiences. It would be a space of joy, where differences melted away like morning mist. If she would embody the spirit of love and acceptance, she could cultivate connections and bridge the gap that fear and envy had created. Determined, Amara felt a rising wave of hope. The whispers in the wind might aim to shroud her light, but she would stand firm and illuminate the night, one heartbeat at a time. If you're enjoying the story so far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us continue bringing more content your way. Thank you so much for your support, and let's get back to the story. Shadows of Envy. The heart of Eldergrove pulsed with life, each day blending seamlessly into the next. Yet, beneath the surface of the vibrant village, a tide of unease simmered quietly. Amara's plan for a gathering filled the air with anticipation, but amidst the budding excitement lay whispers that traveled like shadows, shifting and darkening the sunlit paths of camaraderie. Mira, freshly arrived from the bustling city, wandered the village, drawn by the stories she had heard about Amara's golden hair. Having known both glamour and loneliness in her previous home, she craved the warmth and connections hinted at in the tales she'd absorbed. Eldergrove seemed a sanctuary, but Mira soon sensed the fragile dynamics intertwining the villagers' interactions. It was not long before she caught a glimpse of the heart of the matter when she overheard snippets of conversation in the marketplace. "Have you seen Amara lately?" Holding her head high as if she were a queen, a woman scoffed to another. "Her hair will surely attract the fickle attention of the gods, but one dip into the river will show her true nature," the other replied, laughter laced with sarcasm. Myra's brow furrowed. The backbiting worried her. Would beauty always provoke such resentment? Amara's joy and bravado shone so brightly, yet it seemingly invited darkness. She rushed to the riverbank where Amara would likely be preparing for the upcoming gathering. When she arrived, she found Amara sitting with her legs dangling over the water, her hair shimmering like liquid gold, creating ripples in the calm surface. The sight took Myra's breath away, not just for its beauty, but for the vulnerable sadness reflected in Amara's blue eyes. "Amara," Mira ventured, stepping closer. "Are you okay?" Amara turned, forcing a smile that almost reached her eyes. "I'm preparing for the gathering," she replied, though her voice wavered slightly. "I thought I could use the river's tranquility to encourage better thoughts." Mira squatted beside her, choosing her words carefully. "Isn't that where you find comfort? Can I help you?" Amara shrugged. "I just want the villagers to understand that my gift isn't a curse. I fear Helena and others. They've been spreading rumors." Mira nodded, her heart swelling with empathy. "You are not alone, Amara. There are people who admire you. I'm new here, but I sense that some fear what they don't understand. They see the light of your gift, but they forget that light shines down as much as it shines up." Amara looked at Mira, sensing the weight of the girl's words. "It feels exhausting sometimes. I hoped that sharing my hair and its magic would bring us together, not spawn jealousy." "Jealousy is born from fear and misunderstanding," Mira explained gently. "You must show them what you truly mean by sharing your gift. Let them witness the joy it brings you." As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting golden hues over everything, Amara found strength in Myra's encouragement. However, shadows continued to loom over the village as whispers twirled around like dandelion seeds, gradually spreading doubts and fears. Days passed, and as the anticipated gathering approached, Helena and her friends devised a plan. A scheme born from envy that would ultimately test Amara's resolve. They decided to infiltrate the event and plant seeds of discord, convinced that weakening Amara would restore their sense of balance. On the day of the gathering, villagers adorned their finest clothes, carrying homemade dishes, flowers, and handwritten notes of encouragement. They filled the square with laughter and anticipation, but the air quivered with trepidation as Helena and her crew arrived, cloaked in feigned smiles. Amara welcomed everyone, her eyes searching the crowd for signs of joy. "Thank you for coming. Let's celebrate our connections and share tales of what proves our magic." Yet, as the stories began to flow, Helena, standing in the corner, exchanged glances with her friends. They moved closer, forming a perimeter of cold antagonism around the gathering, ready to strike when the moment was right. "Isn't it ironic?" Helena called loud enough for all to hear, her voice cutting through the festivity. "Amara's magic thrives while ours withers away. Wonder how much longer she'll enjoy her powers before the gods tire of nurturing such vanity." Uncomfortable murmurs rippled around the crowd. Amara felt her heart race, the warmth draining from her cheeks. But before she could respond, Mira stepped forward, confidence glowing in her demeanor. Is it truly fair to compare a gift to another? Why tear at threads that bind us together? Mira asked, her voice unwavering. All gifts are unique, and we deserve to celebrate the beauty in every heart. Helena scoffed but struggled to suppress the flicker of uncertainty lurking in her eyes. Still, the other villagers shifted uncomfortably, glancing back and forth between Amara and Helena. As the tension thickened, Amara stepped forward, reclaiming her voice. I might have been born with this hair, but its magic is rooted in love and connection. I want to share that magic with all of you, even if some fear it. We can lift each other if we choose to embrace our differences rather than shun them. The atmosphere shifted, and a silence enveloped the square. One by one, the villagers began to voice their opinions. Yes, it's about love, an elder spoke. Our unity makes us stronger. We can't allow envy to tear us apart. Encouraged by the consensus forming, Amara pressed forward, eyes shining brightly. Join me. Let's create memories and deepen our bonds. We can learn from one another. That's where our true magic lies. As the evening wore on, the air filled with laughter, music, and new friendships blossoming like flowers after a storm, mirroring the vibrant colors of Amara's hair. But outside the circle of warmth, shadows still lurked. While the village took steps toward healing, Helena's envy simmered in the background, the flame unquenched, ready to ignite at a moment's notice. Would Amara's light be enough to pierce through the gathering shadows, or would they consume the connections she aimed to foster? The answers remained uncertain as the gathering continued, bringing a flicker of hope, yet shadows of envy still whispered promises of discord in the corners of Eldergrove. Beneath the ancient oak. The gathering in Eldergrove transformed the village into a tapestry of color and laughter, but even amid the joy, Amara could feel the weight of uncertainty pressing against her heart like a dense fog. One evening, filled with emotion and the pangs of doubt, she found herself drawn to the ancient oak, the village's sage, a timeless guardian that stood watch over countless seasons and stories. As she approached the tree, its gnarled branches stretched toward the heavens, and the roots twisted deep into the earth as if embracing the spirit of the land. This place was a sanctuary, a source of wisdom that whispered truths through the rustling leaves. Sitting beneath its vast canopy, Amara inhaled deeply, grounding herself in the familiar scent of earth and wood. With her heart aching, she reached out to touch the tree's rough bark, hoping for solace. "What do I do, dear oak?" she whispered, her voice scarcely breaking the silence. "I can feel the envy creeping around me, threatening the bonds I hope to create. I long to share my gift, but fear it is what keeps us apart." Her words hung in the air, and for a moment, only the rustle of leaves accompanied her thoughts. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over everything, and she closed her eyes, allowing herself a moment to center her thoughts. "Do not fear, my child," came a voice like wind through the branches, and Amara opened her eyes in astonishment. Sitting on a stone seat nearby was Elda, the village elder and Amara's beloved grandmother. Her silver hair glowed in the fading light, and her wise eyes sparkled with the kindness of the ages. "Elda." Amara rushed to her, enveloping her in a tight embrace. "I didn't know you were here." "Always, dear one. I reside beneath this tree, where time flows like a river," Elda replied with a gentle smile. "Tell me what weighs upon your heart." Amara sat with Elda at the base of the oak, the leaves fluttering above them in a serene dance. "I want to help the villagers see my hair, my gift, as I do, as a bridge rather than a barrier, but I fear it draws envy more than joy. Helena's words linger in the air, and I feel trapped between my gift and their expectations." Elda listened attentively, nodding as Amara spoke. "Envy thrives in the shadows of misunderstanding. It is born when people feel threatened by the light of others. You must let your light shine, but you must also reach out and help those in darkness to see. Help them see." Amara furrowed her brow. "How can I show them my intention when they only see the magic they perceive?" "Your intentions became clearer through actions. A gift is strongest when it connects hearts and minds," Elder explained. "Perhaps, instead of showcasing your power, you could invite them to join you in creating a shared experience." Amara pondered this suggestion, her heart fluttering with possibilities. What if I organized an event focused on nature? where we all create something beautiful together, with the earth as the backdrop. Elda's eyes twinkled with approval. A lovely idea. Invite the villagers to explore their gifts and unite in a celebration of creativity. This will show them that your strength is not in separation, but in togetherness. I'll do it, Amara declared, her determination solidifying. I will invite everyone to the riverbank. We can paint the sky with our stories and showcase our talents. Together, we will weave our magic. That is the spirit, Elda said, her voice filled with warmth. Remember, dear Amara, compassion conquers envy. When they see you embodying grace, kindness, and acceptance, their fears will diminish like morning mist. Amara smiled, feeling the warmth of her grandmother's words encompass her. She squeezed Elda's hand, grateful for the wisdom shared beneath the ancient oak. I feel the weight lifting. I'll start preparing right away. As Amara stood beneath the great oak, reveling in the heaviness of expectation melting away, Elda's voice called after her. And do not forget the importance of sharing your own insecurities, too. Showing your own vulnerability will allow them to open their hearts. That night, with the stars twinkling like jewels against the canvas of indigo sky, Amara began drafting her invitations. She carefully crafted delicate notes, filled with excitement and warmth, writing to each villager, young and old, inviting them to gather by the riverbank for an evening of creativity and shared joy. Dear friends, she penned, join me in a celebration of our gifts, beneath the stars by the river. Let us paint, sing, share stories, and create something beautiful together. Our combined magic can illuminate even the darkest shadows. Hope to see you there. Days passed, and the tension in the village began to shift as Amara's vibrant, handwritten invitations spread like wildflowers. Excitement buzzed like a gentle hum in the air as villagers received her heartfelt words. Many were curious, children thrilled with the thought of sharing creativity under the shimmering sky. But the shadows that clung to some hearts, particularly Helena's, were slow to dissipate. Whispers still curled around Helena like curls of smoke, and Amara couldn't shake the feeling that her celebration would welcome both light and tempest. Yet, emboldened by her vision, she remained determined to embrace the unity and connection she yearned to foster. As the day of celebration approached, Amara leaned against the sacred oak, reminding herself of Elda's wisdom. With resolve coursing through her veins, she prepared for the gathering that would unfold. A chance to transform fear and envy into celebration and togetherness beneath the ancient oak that bore witness to all their stories. The spring of truth. The air was fragrant with the scent of fresh blossoms as Amara stood at the riverbank, her heart a fluttering bird trapped in a cage. The day of the gathering had arrived, and with it came a mix of excitement and anxiety. She had invited the villagers to join her in a celebration of their shared gifts, hoping to dissolve the shadows of envy that had clouded their hearts. As the sun began its ascent, casting shimmering reflections on the water, Amara surveyed the scene. Young children played along the bank, their laughter a joyful melody that danced in the gentle breeze. Yet, tucked away in a corner of her heart was a lingering apprehension. She couldn't shake the feeling that not all would go smoothly. Helena's discontent had been palpable, like a storm on the horizon, brewing and waiting for the right moment to strike. The day unfolded with a steady stream of villagers arriving at the riverbank, each carrying their unique contributions. Colorful fabrics hung from branches, vibrant paints awaited eager hands, and soft music played in the background. Amara smiled at the sense of community that filled the air, but she couldn't ignore the whispers that floated on the wind, echoing her fears. Are these festivities merely a way to mask Amara's foolishness? A voice chimed, and she turned to find Helena, flanked by her friends, observing with disdain. Ignoring the sting in her heart, Amara approached her, determined to show warmth despite the chill between them. Helena, I'm glad you came. It means a lot that you're here. Here to see you flaunt your hair and your supposed magic? Helena interrupted sharply, her demeanor cold. You think one gathering can erase the gap between you and the rest of us? Amara's heart sank, yet she summoned all her courage to respond. My intention is not to flaunt, but to share joy and celebration. We all have gifts worth celebrating, don't we? Helena rolled her eyes, the tension thick in the air. What can you possibly know of our struggles? This isn't some fairy tale. Your gift has always set you apart. Amara stood tall, understanding the weight behind Helena's words. "I felt that divide too," she said softly. "But together, we can create something beautiful. Wouldn't you want to be part of it?" For a brief moment, uncertainty flickered in Helena's eyes, yet she quickly masked it, stepping back and crossing her arms defiantly. "I'll believe it when I see it." With that, she turned away, joining her group of friends who whispered among themselves, casting glances back at Amara. As the celebration kicked off, Amara moved among the villagers, encouraging them to share their unique skills. Brush strokes of paint danced on canvas. The rich, playful sounds of laughter filled the air. Children twirled in colorful garments, and elders shared their wisdom through stories. Yet, in the backdrop, Helena's sharp gaze lingered, a constant reminder of the shadows creeping closer. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a golden glow over the river, Amara prepared her next activity, a chance for everyone to engage in painting their hopes and dreams. With a gentle smile, Amara called everyone to gather. With a spark of excitement igniting within her, she spoke warmly, "Friends, let us capture our dreams on this canvas of life. Each brushstroke reflects our hearts. Let us weave together our hopes as we embark on a journey toward unity." Amara distributed brushes and canvas to all, invigorating the atmosphere with the promise of creation, wiping away the lingering bitterness. The villagers approached the blank canvas, dipping their brushes into swirling colors, reds, blues, and yellows, and began to dream. But just as laughter bubbled up in harmony, a sharp voice cut through, like ice against warm earth. "Amara thinks she can paint over our reality with her rainbow fantasies." Helena's voice rang out, dripping with sarcasm. "What's next? A fairy tale where her hair saves us all?" The laughter around Amara faltered. Chatter dwindled as all eyes turned toward the unfolding tension, uncertainty creeping into their hearts. Amara's spirit sank, but she pressed onward, whispering encouragement to herself. "Helena, I understand your fears," Amara said, attempting to speak above the anxious murmurs. "But this is not about beauty or power, it's about finding common ground. We all have struggles. Join me in this, and let's turn our fears into something powerful together." Yet, Helena remained unmoved. "And when your magic fails, will you leave us once you are done parading?" The air thickened with tension, breaths held as villagers awaited Amara's response. In that moment, time slowed for Amara, and she felt the weight of every villager's hopes and dreams resting heavily on her shoulders. "This gathering," she paused, taking a steady breath, searching for the words that might bridge the chasm between them, "is about honesty. I struggle too, Helena. I want to connect with you all. I want to share in our vulnerabilities and empower each other. Your strength matters." There was a moment of silence, then the whisper of uncertainty. Slowly, villagers began to pick up their brushes again, but Helena remained unyielding. "Dreams don't change reality, Amara." The whispered doubts ricocheted in Amara's mind, but she found herself drawn to the spring at the river's edge, a place known for its healing waters. She boldly approached the shimmering surface, her heart racing, gathering her courage. "The spring of truth," she announced, her voice steady and clear. "This place nurtures our spirits. Let it be a reminder that truths, the good and the bad, can restore balance and connection." Amara dipped her hand into the cool, refreshing water, and its magic tingled across her skin. "Let this water remind us of our essence, the dreams, the fears, and the strength we hold. Together, we must cultivate honesty." The villagers watched her intently, the atmosphere shifting as they felt the sincerity flow from her heart. "Let's create our canvas, but let us do so without fear of judgment. Listen, and unite with our truths. Paint what you feel, the vibrant colors of our experiences can heal us." Amara stepped back from the spring, and for the first time, she saw encouragement flicker in Helena's eyes. Yet the lines of tension still etched across Helena's brow spoke volumes. Would she choose to join, or would she remain entangled in her shadows? As the evening drew on, Amara felt cautious hope bloom within her, a delicate seedling of change. The path ahead remained uncertain and fraught with challenges, but she understood that her purpose lay in fostered connections, both tender and fierce. As the vibrant hues illuminated the canvas of their hearts that night, Amara realized that truth harbored the power to mend even the deepest of rifts. And deep down, she believed in the strength of their shared magic, ready to pave the way for the unity they so desperately needed. Threads of connection. The sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky with strokes of pink and gold as Amara stood before the canvas that bloomed with the color of the villagers' dreams and fears. The atmosphere buzzed with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. Each person gathered had poured their essence onto the canvas, creating a tapestry that vibrated with life. However, the central tension lay tethered to Helena, who still hung at the edges, her emotions swirling between skepticism and a longing for belonging. With her heart racing, Amara stepped toward Helena, who stood apart, observing the collective creation with uncertainty in her eyes. "Helena," she called softly, determined to break through the walls that surrounded her. The girl turned, her arms folded tightly against her chest. "What do you want now, Amara?" she replied, her tone laced with defiance. "I want you to see this." Amara gestured to the colorful artwork that reflected a mosaic of emotions shared by everyone present. "I want you to be a part of it. Your voice deserves to be heard just as much as anyone else's." Helena's brows furrowed as she took a hesitant step forward. "You think painting a pretty picture will erase the envy? You don't know how it feels to be judged, to always be in your shadow. That's why I want you to join me," Amara said, her voice steady but filled with warmth. "This gathering isn't just about my gift or my hair, it's about all of us sharing our truths. It's about how we can lift each other up instead of tearing each other down." "Lifting each other up," Helena echoed, her defenses still high. Vulnerability flickered in her eyes though, revealing a glimmer of doubt. "What if I fail?" "No one here is perfect, and that's okay," Amara replied. "Your failures, your triumphs, they're all part of who you are. Why don't we face them together?" A pause hung in the air, and for a moment, it felt as though the world around them held its breath. Finally, the tension in Helena's stance loosened. "Fine. Show me how this works," she said, her voice softer but still laced with hesitation. Amara felt a rush of hope swell in her chest. "Great. Let's start with our fears. We can paint them, face them, and release the weight they carry." Helena nodded, and they returned to the canvas together. As the other villagers watched, Amara picked up a brush and dipped it into deep blue paint, creating dark swirls that reflected the chill in her heart. "I fear not being accepted, even by my own gift." Helena hesitated, choosing vibrant red paint. She struck the canvas harshly. "I fear I'll always be compared to you. Nothing I do will ever measure up." The raw honesty resonated across the circle. Children paused in their play, the elders' eyes widened, and even Tomas was caught off guard, realizing the depth of both girls' connection and struggles. "For so long, I wanted to hide," Amara admitted, drawing patterns in soft green, representing the hope she clung to amidst the chaos. "But I've realized that being unique isn't a competition. We can each shine on our own." One by one, the villagers approached, driven by the courage these two girls had displayed. Tomas picked up a brush, exclaiming, "I fear that my strength won't be enough, that I won't be able to help those I care about." He colored the canvas with bold strokes, depicting a stormy sea. A child shyly stepped forward, brush trembling in hand. "I'm scared of the dark," he confessed, quickly forming a dark patch in the corner of the canvas. "Then let's shine brighter," Amara encouraged. "Every fear we share becomes a thread woven into our tapestry, but they don't define who we are." As the villagers united to paint their fears, the colors began weaving together harmoniously into a vibrant fabric of collective emotions. One stroke led to another as they transformed each worry into a story, creating balance and light that surged through the colors as they merged. Helena, inspired by the intertwining hues, added layers of vibrant oranges and yellows, depicting the warmth of friendship and community. "I guess this is what it feels like to connect," she murmured, surprised by her own words. Amara smiled. "Exactly. It's about sharing not only our gifts but supporting one another. We are all threads in this beautiful fabric." Hours slipped away as the villagers poured their hearts into the canvas, where their truths took shape. What started as a gathering of uncertainty blossomed into an electrifying celebration of vulnerability and resilience. The air hummed with laughter, and frayed bonds were remarkably sewn together. As night fell and the glow of lanterns flickered to life, the canvas stood proudly at the riverbank, a testament to their journey together. The colors gleamed vibrantly under the stars, illuminating the heart of Eldergrove, a heartfelt tribute to connection. Looking around, Amara smiled at her neighbors, a warmth pooling within her heart. Each of us has a gift that contributes to our village. We're stronger when we share our stories, when we embrace our differences. The villagers nodded in agreement, and a sense of unity settled among them, a newfound understanding that would blanket the village. In the rising warmth, Amara felt the shadows surrounding Helena dissipate, rooted in connection and empathy. As laughter filled the air once more, Amara glanced at the stars shining down. She felt a deep sense of gratitude wash over her, a realization that fear and envy could be transformed into understanding and love, as long as they were willing to share. In the weeks that followed, the village continued to grow together, nourished by the threads they had woven at the spring of truth. Relationships blossomed, empathy flourished, and with each shared experience, they became an unbreakable tapestry of life, interconnected and resilient. Amara understood now that every strand in their shared fabric told a story of its own, enriching the lives of those around them. It was a vision that would guide her through whatever storms lay ahead, for beneath the canopy of the ancient oak, she discovered the beauty of embracing her gift, a gift that was infinitely precious when strengthened by the hands and hearts of her community. Did you enjoy this video? If so, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to join us for more amazing stories every day. Here at Daily Anything History, there's always something new to discover. See you in the next video.